And give me a wave. You're ready to go. Do that again. Burst Forsyth here.
Right, hi guys. So if you're not sure about which race vest to choose, I'm going to run through two of the race vests that we've got. So we've got our Curbar 5 litre and we've got our Kinder 10 litre. The key difference with race vests is going to be the capacity, and our Curbar 5 litre is great for medium to short type of runs, things that are up to about half marathon distance, and then you choose the 10 litre for when you're looking at longer distance, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what you can fit into each. So to start off with, both of these packs are the same at the front and the sides. So I'm going to run through the pockets on the front where everything goes, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat about the back of the vests and the difference in capacity and what I'd use them for on my runs. So if we take the 5 litre, we start off with our top pockets just here, these little ones. And what I really love to use these ones for are things like gel wrappers. So if you've got your gels packed and you're using them on your run, instead of having to put the gooey wrappers back in your pocket, you can just put your wrappers in here. They're also really great for things like electrolyte tablets. So anything that's little in there. You've got a little whistle as well in case you get into any trouble and you need to signal. And also on this side, you've also got a zip, so you can fit your phone in there, probably without a case, because it's quite snug. But if you want to keep your phone really, really secure, you can pop it in this zipped pocket. Otherwise, I tend to just drop my phone in the bottom pocket there. So if we go a little bit further down the vest, in the middle pockets here, now that is where our soft bottles go. So we do 500ml and 300ml soft bottles, and they go into these middle pockets. And what you've got in these pockets is a little elastic tidy, and these are brilliant for putting over the top of your soft bottles so that when you're drinking, they're not falling down into your pockets basically. So you'll fill them up with water, pop them in, and then they'll sit just nice in those middle pockets there. Sometimes it's easier to fill your bottles up when your vest isn't on, then put it into your pack and then put your pack on. I just find that it's a little bit easier to sort of shimmy them down, and those little toggles will just hold them nicely in place there.
Thumbs up, yay, we got them.
Yeah, that's great. So next off, we've got these nice deep pockets at the bottom, and we've also got a nice little grippy strip there, which just holds things in. So say if you were to pop your phone into your pocket, it just keeps it nice and secure when it's on. So you can put things in there, like I might put a tube scarf in there, put a buff in there, or I might put a gel in there. Anything that you need that's easy access is just best in those front pockets like that. So then you're all loaded up on the front. You've also got these nice side pockets as well. So the Curbar has got 12 pockets overall. The Kinder 10 litre has got 13 pockets. So if you love organising all your kit, then you've got plenty of space to put everything. And these side pockets are a great alternative if you want to pop your phone in there. They're nice and deep. So my phone's quite big with a case on, but it fits in there really well. We've got YKK zips, so they're really sturdy. You might want to put another tube scarf in there, a few more snacks, because you need lots of pockets for snacks. So there's lots of different areas, because the main thing with your race vest is to ensure that everything is really well balanced all around your body, so that when you run in, you haven't got too much loaded up around the front, and you've just got it all nicely to hand on the sides and the front. All of those items that you think that you're going to need to hand during your run, for taking some selfies, having some snacks, having a drink, make sure they're all front loaded around the front of your vest. So if we have a little look at the back of the 5 litre, now it doesn't look very big, but the 5 litre is actually deceptively large. It does take a really good volume of kit. It's split into 2 parts. So you've got the back section with a little loop there for your bladder. So if we were to use a bladder along with our soft bottles, that is where you would just put the little hang loop through there, so the bladder doesn't drop down to your vest as you drink your water. So that's your bladder compartment. And then in the secondary compartment, which is the one that's furthest away from your back, that's where I'd put my bigger bits. So the things that you're hoping to use least, you would put at the bottom of your vest. And that would be, for example, your safety items, things like your emergency survival bag. Always prefer a bivy bag compared to a foil blanket, because it means you can get in it if you're in trouble. You've got another whistle there. So that would go at the bottom because hopefully it's not very often when I need to use that and I can just forget about it. It just lives in my pack all the time. Always carry a little first aid kit in case you get a blister or a cut, or anybody that you meet on the trail might need something. It's just really handy to keep it. So I keep a little first aid kit. Again, I just leave it in there all the time and forget that it's there. And if I was taking my 5 litre out, I would be putting things in like a waterproof jacket. So this is my Exmoor jacket and it just folds away into its pouch, nice and neat. So I'd stuff that in, and then I'd probably just take a spare top as well, especially if it's spring or autumn. You know, if you stop running, it does get a little bit chilly, and rather carry it than not have it with you. And that is really the max of what I would carry in this 5 litre. So that's all loaded up like that. On the 10 litre, this is the pack that I would use if I was doing something, anything more than say 2 or 3 hours of running, anything more than like a half marathon sort of distance, then I would be putting extra things in there. Everything that I've got in the 5 litre, but I might also want to carry some waterproof trousers as an extra layer because you've got more capacity in there. And I might also carry my bladder as well. I probably wouldn't carry a bladder in the 5 litre, but I really like carrying a bit more weight on my back rather than having lots of weight from water on my front. So I'll put a bladder in the back, have maybe 2 300ml flasks in the front, and just try to balance it out so I've not got lots of weight just on the front of the pack. And that 10 litre pack is great for just having all those extra bits in there. So if I put in my merino base layer, just so that it's nice and safe in case I stop, my waterproof jacket, and then my safety bits as well. And then you can see that the Kinder just takes a lot more kit for those sort of longer or bad weather runs. So it's great to have them both. There's 2 options of race vest depending on what you're training for. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. And I love pulling that tight because it means that it all stays nice and snug on your back like that. And then we'll have the front loaded up as well. We've got pole holders on the back of both vests. One tip that I would say is that when you're buying a race vest is always buy for your longest training run. Don't necessarily buy for your race, because on your race day you've got aid stations to refill things like water and snacks, but when you're training for a race you're not going to have any support there, so you're going to have to carry a lot more stuff with you when you're training by yourself. So make sure that you've got enough space to carry everything that you need to keep yourself fed, hydrated and safe on the trails. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and those are our 2 race vests.